Right?
Well, let's do this thing.
No, it's back. Give it to the quarterback. No, we got the running back.
Straight off the couch.
Here are the stories we're going to be chasing today.
We're going to be chasing a brand new season, but before we get too far into it, let me bring in my partner, the ever gregarious and gaunt Adam Weidel.
Oh my.
Gregarious,
Intro and everything.
gregarious and gangly Adam Weidel.
Gregarious and gangly. I don't know if those are flattering, but okay. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to season 3 of Straight Off the Couch.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long and kind of slow off season, all things considered. But let's just go ahead and is there anything you need to talk about before we dive in?
I'm just excited to be back after a long hiatus. There wasn't a lot of off-season stuff to talk about. The draft was meh, and kickoff's Thursday. So let's talk about the things that we had on our agenda.
Yeah, the draft was kind of a big nothing burger, wasn't it?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot there. The big story there was Shadur Sanders going in like the 6th round, whatever.
Fifth. Yeah, he dropped to the fifth. Yeah. That was and then his brother got cut by Tampa Bay, so there's that to look forward to. We're going to hear that for the next I don't know how long. So what are your 3 things you wanna keep an eye on this year, buddy?
So this year, my 3 things are, number 1, the dynamic kickoff rule. We talked a lot about this last season. We thought it was going to be exciting. We thought we were going to get more returns. We didn't. We complained. The league listened. I'm hoping they listened. Instead of the ball being spotted at the 20 on a dead ball, it'll be the 35. So now that gives incentive to the kickers to not knock it into the back of the end zone because, field advantage is important now.
Well, and that was going to be one of my things was the revised kickoff rule, because now they have a landing zone and they want the kickers to actually hit the landing zone. So,
Yeah, so they had that last year too, but the thing was the penalty for not putting it in the landing zone just put everybody on the 20-yard line.
That wasn't much of a penalty as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they were taking it the 25 the season before,
something like that,
before they did the dynamic kickoff rule. So now it's the 35. So field position's a big thing now. So maybe you won't have kickers just banging into the back of the end zone because they're afraid of the kick returner who's super fast.
I still want to see them have a rule where on the kickoff, if you put it through the uprights, you get 2 points. That'd still be funny as hell to me.
I think they do that in the CFL.
What's your next topic, buddy?
So along those lines, the digital ball marker.
Yes, that's new this year. Yes, that's a good call.
So I want to see how this works out because we have the pile, right? We always have the pile, and you don't know where the ball is.
And the officials kind of guess a little bit.
But here's the thing with the digital ball marker that is going to throw me for a little bit of a loop. Even if the pile is covered up and there's 22 guys in a pile, we don't know who has possession of the ball or if the ball's free or...
Right. Once that dog pile starts, you just don't know what's going on at the bottom of it.
Yeah, so they could use, forward progress, but the ball could have been not in anybody's hands and it just could have squirted forward, so...
Right, or the running back, maybe he wasn't down where they put the ball at, but just because they can't tell, they're kind of using best guesstimate,
Yeah, so I don't know how the digital ball marker is going to work. I did see it used in preseason a couple times, and I was just like, okay, might as well just have the teams sit with their Xboxes and play Madden.
Right. Sorry, Daisy's losing her mind. Yeah, no, that's kind of the vibe it had, was a video game vibe.
But we'll see. It's the preseason games. They didn't use it a lot, but I know they were experimenting with it to see how it's going to work in the regular season. We'll see what happens. I don't have a lot of faith in it right now, but my mind can be changed.
Sure. And I mean, it can't be any worse than the system they'd used for the last 50 years, where they're just kind of doing the best they can. And I don't want to say guessing, but I think sometimes they were kind of rolling the dice a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
They're guessing. They don't get paid enough to actually go back in and find out where the ball was. And they have enough cameras now that they should be able to figure out where the ball is, but it's the only situation I see they have to use the digital ball marker is with the dog pile.
Yeah, true. That's very true. And what is your third thing? And the only reason why I'm moving us along a little faster, we're going to try and keep the episodes to a manageable 45-minute window. And there's a lot going on because it's opening weekend. So we want to get to those games and talk about that.
Yeah, so my third and final one is, who is going to be the dark horse team of the year? We saw this last year. Washington came out of nowhere,
right? And
they were the dark horse team. So this year I expect Washington to be a good team. They obviously have their franchise quarterback of the future. They've put a lot of pieces in place, so that team is definitely not a dark horse anymore.
And they didn't have a lot of turnover this year either. They kind of kept most of their core intact on both sides of the ball, so that'll be a fun team to watch, I think. Yeah.
And they brought in Debo from San Francisco, and there's a lot going on.
They had to bolster that receiving core for sure.
Yeah, they definitely are doing their things, so they're not going to be the dark horse team. So my question is, who is it going to be? Is it going to be somebody like the Las Vegas Raiders, because they got Tommy Terrific making some calls?
If you remember in
who's it going to be?
If you remember in 2023, the dark horse team was the Texans, and last year they didn't even make the playoffs. So, is there going to be a slump or not? That's a good watch.
Yeah. So I'm just curious of who the dark horse team is going to be. There always is one, and I don't know who it's going to be. I'm just guessing that somebody that flew under the radar that we didn't see bolstering their squad, or the pickups that they had we didn't see was going to make any difference.
Is Carolina going to break through that ceiling? Yeah.
Yeah, like the Jaguars, who knows, right? Like, right. Is it the Cleveland Browns year that they have, because they have 17 quarterbacks on their roster? Like, who is it?
They're a fucking train wreck, man.
So those are my three. What are your three, buddy?
One of them was the kickoff thing, because I want to see what the revised kickoff rule and how they're going to handle it, how they're going to implement it, all that fun stuff. The other one I was going to watch pretty closely was officiating in general. But there's a reason behind that. Sure, there was some questionable calls last year, but the guy who made most of those, if you remember, he got sent down to the NCAA. The guy who got the Kansas City Chiefs 4 wins that are questionable wins was demoted this past year. So the league without saying, we had
4 of them, right? There was 4 refs that were demoted.
Right. So the league, without saying we've got a problem, kind of said we've got a problem.
Yeah. So that was almost my replacement for the dynamic kickoff rule, because I kind of had a feeling one of us were going to say it, or both of us, but I was like, the reffing was another one. Is the reffing going to be cleaner this year?
Yeah, officiating in general, and this, like I said, them sending 4 guys down, that's telling me they know there's an issue, but they're not going to come out and say there's an issue, because they can't.
They can't do that.
No, they can't admit a mistake.
They can't take accountability.
Oh, God, no. And the third thing on my list, and I usually try and go bigger, but this is kind of division-oriented. I think Green Bay might have gotten a little fleeced with this Micah Parsons trade.
Maybe, maybe not.
2 days after the trade, though, you find out he's got a bulging disc.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
And was it because he wasn't practicing, because he was holding out, that medical report wasn't properly filled out? Because the rules are different if you're not actively practicing versus actively practicing. There's different rules for the publishing of the medical stuff.
I think it has to be full disclosure. Well, who knows? Maybe Green Bay was just like, you know what?
It's Micah Parsons. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you a bunch of draft picks and the guy that works the counter at Denny's.
And Jerry Jones looked like a complete idiot in that press conference. Oh my God, did he look out of his depth?
He He was just like, Jerry was sitting in that press conference, and he might as well have just said, well, Michael, because he didn't, I don't think he called him Micah. But,
no, he said, he said Michael, right, yeah.
Because
he's the kindly old grandpa that can't get your name right.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan, Alan, go get me those Oreos.
It starts with an A, right? Yeah. So Michael was a cancer in the locker room, and there can't be two cancers on this team. I can be the only cancer here.
Right.
You know, that's what he might as well have said.
Right. And then the other thing I saw, he was comparing it to the deal he made with Herschel Walker at the very beginning of his ownership that actually got him the draft picks of Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith. He's thinking he's going to get a turnover like this from that trade.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So is the Cowboys finally saying it's not our year?
You know what?
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah. So you're not all in, Jerry? Are you telling me you're not all in? Because you've been telling us for the last 2 years you're all in.
Cowboys fans are just setting their TVs on fire already.
So is there any other off-season observations, or you want to hop into the to the discussion on this upcoming week, opening kickoff weekend, and how we're gonna watch this and what we're gonna do? Yeah.
So let's get into the games. I don't really care about what happened in the off season. It was a really long off season, and not a lot happened, in my opinion. I know there's the guys that were managing their fantasy teams right after the Super Bowl, but yeah, I'm more in for the ball, man. Like let's look at the ball.
So we have opening night this coming Thursday. Talking about the Cowboys, Dallas going into Philadelphia.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Eagles here, 100%. You're walking into the Super Bowl champions' home, and the Cowboys have no pass rush.
And let's face it, Mike McCarthy might not have been the best coach ever, but he's an improvement over what you got right now. This is the Cowboys repeating history. This is Barry Switzer.
Yeah, I don't see it
might
maybe
work.
It is their year.
It might work out, but I don't see it.
I can't bet against the reigning Super Bowl champs right here.
No, and the Eagles didn't lose much in the way of personnel, and everything's looking pretty good for them, so they're going to be a force. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be the Eagles, and I think it's going to be at least a 10-point difference.
Okay. All right. And we're only focusing on primetime games this year. Like, we will tell you things about
if there's something that catches our eye, yeah.
Yeah, notable things that happen with the other teams, but I did put together our board for this year's picks so that we can see who the champion is this year. You won last year.
I win every year. Doesn't matter whether I'm doing it with you or somebody else. I'm good at calling games.
Well, when I was putting the board together, my goodness, Chiefs, Bills, Chargers, a lot of primetime games.
Did you see that the Bills are actually, I mean, sure, we haven't gotten games under our belt yet, but they're favored to win every game this year, and that's the first time in the NFL history of the game that this has happened preseason.
Because of their soft schedule?
Their soft schedule, and let's face it, the Bills are a really good football team, So
yeah, I mean, Josh Allen's already been pegged as MVP for this year, and we haven't even had a snap yet.
Let's see what I mean. If he gets hurt, you're getting Mitchell Trubisky, and good luck with that. So that brings us to the Friday game. Not everybody's going to be able to see the Friday game. Is it on Telemundo or something? It's some
it'd be like Hulu or something.
It'll
be like
I think it's on Fubo.
On Spotify Sports or something.
Yeah, I think it's on Fubo is what it is. But
Fubo,
yeah,
or Fubo, or whatever. Yeah, there's too many damn streaming services now.
We have Kansas City going into Los Angeles. Chiefs against the Chargers. This on paper, the Chiefs being the Chiefs, but they have some problems at wide receiver. They lost a couple of pieces on the offensive line, and I think it's about time for Patrick Mahomes to have an off season. I think I'm going to go Chargers on this one because Jim's going to have those boys. Jim Harbaugh is going to have that team ready to go.
Yeah, this is a tough call for me. We're going into the Chargers home, and I did watch 3 Chargers preseason games, and their third and fourth lines looked amazing. So I can hardly wait to see what lines 1 and 2 are looking like.
So they have some depth, is what you're saying. If they have injuries, it's not going to affect them too much.
Yeah, like the Chargers are legit. You know, they're coming. Chiefs, I don't know. Maybe, you know, the whole engagement thing with, you know, Swifty, maybe that could be a curse.
You know, that's a huge distraction. What dress am I going to wear to the wedding? And then Taylor's got to pick out her dress, and you know.
Yeah, and then you know.
And it's going to be Kelsey's swan song. He's basically come out and said this is his last season plan. So
yeah, and he has to pick the 4 zebras that he wants to stand up for him. It's going to be a lot of drama.
And then he's got to plan the wedding. He's probably got to hire the DJ, because that's what wives do. They go, okay, I'll take care of the.
He's already pregnant.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Imagine how big that prenup is going to be and all the language on it. It's got to be 170 pages at least.
It's a novel.
Because I mean, she's a billionaire. He's not broke, but it's going to have to be worded that, you know, if they break up, that she doesn't get any of his and he doesn't get any of hers. And
yeah, and then there'll be like an amendment on it that she can't write a breakup album if it happens.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
If we break up, you got to go on my brother's podcast with me 13 times. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. There's going to be all these like rules and regulations. So anyway, I know that's you know, what the common folk are going to be looking at, because they all jumped on board for football because Taylor Swift was at the games.
Tay, yeah. Well, and that brings us to our Sunday afternoon games. We're going to skip the nooners because not everybody can watch the nooners. The first Sunday afternoon game, 3:05 kickoff. It's San Francisco.
We're counting the afternooners as well, like the late afternoon window.
Because that's the one that most teams can, not most teams, most households across the country are going to be able to watch those afternoon games. And this week, because it's opening Sunday, there are 4 3:00, 3:25 kickoffs.
Okay, we don't have to pick these ones because they're not prime time.
Right, but
let's talk about them.
I thought we should talk about them, right? Because I don't know what our listeners are going to be able to watch. It's probably regional specific for what's going on in your neck of the woods. But we have the Niners going into San Francisco, or going into Seattle to play the Seahawks. But the Seahawks, they had a lot of turnover this year, new quarterback, new coaching staff. The Niners, I don't think they have a wide receiver that's healthy. I think this is a coin flip, buddy. I don't know who to pick on this one.
Christian McCaffrey, he had a really bad season. Hopefully he's healthy this year, but
I think his leg fell off. I think his leg fell off.
I think I don't know what happened to him. He was he was being carried around like Yoda in a backpack for a while, I think.
Yeah, and it just wasn't a good look for him. I mean, he's kind of big. He doesn't look good in the little backpack.
Yeah, this one's definitely a coin flip.
So that brings us to Titans at Broncos. I don't think the Titans have a chance. Bo Nix looked fantastic.
I got Broncos all day on that one.
That defense looks fantastic. I'm going to skip one because I want to talk about it a little more in depth. Texans going into Los Angeles to play the Rams. I think then again, their quarterback hasn't taken a snap all preseason because he had a bit of a what was it, a foot, I think, or no, he had a shoulder. But the Texans lost a lot of pieces to free agency, so I'm going to go Rams.
I think the Rams have been a pretty solid team since Sean McVay came on board. Yeah, sure, they haven't made a lot of waves. Like they've squeaked into the playoffs a couple times. They do have a Super Bowl under their belt. Sean McVay has winning record as a coach. I think the Rams are ready. I don't think Houston can take that game.
Nope, I'm gonna agree with you on that. And the other last 3:25 window game, Lions at Packers. This should be a pretty good football game for a lot of reasons. Lions with both offensive and defensive coordinators kept most of their
new ones.
Yep, new coordinators on both sides. They kept most of their personnel intact, a couple pieces here and there, but nothing major. They're healthy-ish on defense, which last year, if you remember, that's what happened. They started losing defensive pieces like crazy.
Yeah, they had like 17 guys on IR at one point. It was ridiculous.
And Jordan Love for the Packers, I think he's ranked like number 10 or number 11. He's not that top quarter of the league quarterback that the Packers are used to. So this will be a fun one to watch. This is going to be more of a chess match than any other game this weekend, I think.
Yeah, but I'm taking the Lions.
I think I'd take the Lions too, just because I can't. If I ever take Green Bay, I'm in desperate need.
Well, Green Bay is going to have to prove it to me. So, I mean, divisional game, so it should be a tight game regardless.
No.
But Lions, I think they've got a chip on their shoulder. They had a really good season, and they were, the NFC, they had home field advantage, and they got a heartbreak from, the dark horse team.
And their defense was just decimated with injuries. It started with Hutch, and it never got back on track, man.
And Hutch is back, and he looks good. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say Lions. That it's a revenge game for them.
So
every game's a revenge game for them.
So we're both picking the Lions, and I don't like the idea of Dan Campbell with the chip on his shoulder. That's kind of bothersome, being in the same division as him.
Guy's got those clanking balls, man.
He does. So that brings us to the Sunday Night Football. We have the Baltimore Ravens going off against the Buffalo Bills, going into Buffalo. That should be a pretty good game, even though it is week 1. That should be a knockdown drag out of a football game.
I think this is going to be pure firepower on both sides.
I do too.
But considering you told me that the Bills have been picked to win like every fucking game, I am taking the Bills.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go against the professional prognosticators, and I do like Josh Allen, and I do like the Bills, but I mean, Lamar Jackson's no slouch.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar's a 2-time MVP. So
Derrick Henry's still a quality back. They've got a really good defense. It's going to be a really, really, really good game. There's going to be some bloody noses in this one, but I think I'm
excited for it.
I think I'm going to go Buffalo as well.
Yeah,
and
I don't think we're flip flopping. I think we're picking the same.
Yeah,
pretty much every time.
So, and that brings us to Monday Night Football on the 4-letter network. When we're done with this talk about this game, let's talk about the 4-letter network and the NFL's little deal, because that'll be a nice topic. I think I didn't even think about that till just this second. So sorry if I'm throwing you a curve.
That's all right. Adapt to overcome.
Monday night, 7:15 kickoff. We have the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Chicago to take on my beloved Bears. The Vikings defense blitzes more than any other team in the league. Bears with a whole new coaching staff top to bottom, pretty much revamped offensive line. But this is J.J. McCarthy's first start, and the defense was always one of Chicago's strong points, and Dennis Allen's a pretty good defensive coordinator, and they looked hungry in the preseason. I'm going to go with Bears on this one.
So I had a hard time picking this one just because, we got a sophomore quarterback, even though technically he's a freshman because he never played last year.
Yeah, he was gone the whole season. He got hurt. Like, was it week 1 or something?
I really don't see him with enough experience to win this game. The Bears had some good moments last year. I know the Bears' beloved were hoping for a better season.
There was stuff that happened last year that never happened in the history of the organization. Firing a coach mid-season being one of them.
Yeah, there was glimmers of hope. They've had time to kind of right the ship. So I'm going to pick Bears and hope I'm right as well. So
we agree across the board this week.
We've agreed across the board this week, but it is week 1, so it's just kind of like, what have we seen? What have we don't know how these teams are going to play.
Right, and we, like you said, we don't know, because there's always a team that has injuries. There's always a team that comes out of nowhere that's better than we expect. And we're still sifting through that. What is it you said last year? You don't think until like week 3 or week 4 you can really, these are kind of like preseason-esque games in your opinion?
Yeah. The first month is just kind of like a testing bed for me. I honestly don't even pay attention to all the games until probably like week 5 or 6. Because then I get kind of a litmus test on what teams are doing and stuff, because they're all just kind of preseason kind of playing. There's a lot of mistakes that are made.
Right.
We see balls fumbled way too much. We see guys that don't have sure hands. We see jitters. We see so many things happen in the first 4 weeks.
And this preseason has been a little odder than most. There was a lot of weird injuries, a lot of people going down with knees and hips and backs and shoulders. And it seemed like every time I was hearing from Adam Schefter, he was talking about somebody else being placed on the IR. And that always takes 2 or 3 weeks to sift out as well. So,
Yeah, we got guys going down with like 2 minutes left in the game. We got ambulance coming out on the field. Like, geez, man, like for preseason?
Yeah, it's wild. But back to the conversation about ESPN having a partnership with the NFL. What are your thoughts?
I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah. I don't want one network having that close of an affiliation with the league. Because eventually, if it gets too in depth, I guess is the way to put it. Could ESPN go, well, we're going to pull the plug if you don't let us if you don't let us broadcast this particular game? Could they start flexing? I guess is my
yeah. They already have the double Monday nighters again.
Right. Well,
I think that starts week 2.
Well, here's what happened. There was a partnership between ESPN and the NFL Network. ESPN is acquiring the NFL Network's media assets. So the NFL Red Zone and the NFL Channel and NFL Fantasy and all that stuff is going to be taken under the ESPN umbrella. ESPN has been laying off staff consistently for the last 5 years. So where they got the money to do all this, I don't know. Another thing, in return, the NFL received 10% equity stake in ESPN. Why is the league having ownership in a media? That's, ESPN will gain rights to additional NFL content, programming, and games, which will be integrated into this new DTC service and other platforms. That means they're going to DTC is direct to consumers. I bet they wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a dedicated streaming thing, and you got to watch. You got to pay another streaming fee. Consumer benefits. The partnership is designed to provide fans with a greater choice, increased accessibility, and broader array of high-quality content. Anytime I read that from a press release, I know I'm getting fucked.
Oh, it's just a bend over. By the way, we're out of lube.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Yeah.
Grab your ankles and scream for daddy.
We're going to show you a really nice lasagna dinner, but you're not getting that.
Right?
Bundling opportunities. Fans will have the option to bundle the upcoming ESPN DTC, that's direct-to-consumer service, and the NFL Plus Premium, which both their prices are already too high as far as I'm concerned already. Implications of the deal. There's an enhanced consumer experience. The partnership is expected to offer a more integrated and engaging experience for the NFL fans. Strategic integration. The NFL Network is slated to be fully integrated into ESPN and the upcoming DTC service. The deal introduces new questions about potential conflict of interest and bias in ESPN's reporting on the NFL, and there's some regulatory and owner approval that has to be done by the owners of the league. But that's every time the league takes a fart, the ownership has to agree. Can we let it go? I let it out or hold until the end of dinner.
I don't know how it's going to work out. All I know right now is the NFL package in the U.S. has increased in price every year. DAZN, which is the Canadian version, like they've got the streaming rights to the NFL, so they get all the CBS, Fox, ESPN, Amazon, whoever's airing the game, they have the exclusive Canadian rights. And my subscription's gone up exponentially over the last few years. So the more fingers in the pie just hurts the end user.
So they have NFL Plus, which is $7 a month or $50 a year, or NFL Plus Premium, which is $15 a month or $100 a year. And so you're already paying for, whether you're doing cable or satellite or you're streaming like me, and you're paying, because for me to watch everything I want to watch, I'm paying for 3 different streaming services.
Yeah, I can only pick one, but they ding me a nice chunk. Like when I started paying for it was $100 a year, and I could watch every game.
Yeah.
Well, now we're up to $350, and they just announced that prices are going up come January 1st.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I
get
it.
Okay.
I get it. It's a business. It's a business. You're in it to make money. I understand all that. But for the longest time, if you could get a broadcast channel signal, you could watch football.
Right.
And now they're taking
That's
that
how I got into football.
Yeah.
Because CBS always had a 4:00 game on, and I could get CBS. I think it was like Channel 4 or Channel 7 or something like that on the old antennae.
Right.
I'm just a little kid, and I was just like, football's on, cool.
Sorry, I'm just sending you a little message. I just got notice about something.
Oh no.
But no, it's okay because we're pretty much done. We've reached our goal of having these things under 45 minutes.
Yes. So, I mean, going into, oh look, I got a little time left indicator in the top window. That's great. I just saw that.
Oh, good. So you can see it too.
It shows me too. So that's cool. So we're going to focus on prime time and I guess the afternoon games. I heard the coach wants to come back too. I don't know what's going on there, but
which coach is that? Which coach is that?
He was in Dubai right now. Oh, Coach Blackwell.
Well, yeah, because there's fashion season going on, and we got to have Coach Blackwell.
I think they're bringing out
sure.
the spring collection right now, so he's a little busy, but like he gets bored because then he sees all these new uniforms in football and
all the flashy, fancy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to we might have to talk to him a little bit if we can get him on the show. He might be a little busy, but we'll find out.
Well, it was as always, my friend. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I missed you. I missed football. God bless the NFL.
Oh, sort of. We just shit all over it. Now we're like, yes, thank you for bringing it. Hey, it's like you're living in a trailer park and it's just like you're dating your sister or something. And it's just like, oh, I hate you.
Adam, where can the boys and girls find you at if they want to send you a message or tell you to fuck off or whatever?
Yeah, well, they can find me on both the X and Instagram at Adam Off the Couch. Of course, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the places where you get your podcasts on YouTube.
And the YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you're listening because those subscription things will help us.
And leave a rating or a comment or something. That helps us out, too.
Absolutely. You can find me at TREMUP on the Twitter, at TREMUP, Tear 'em Up Terry on Instagram. For my broadcast partner, the gregarious and gangly Adam Whitehall.
Gangly. I'm not going to like that one.
I am, of course, one of your hosts, Terry. I'm excited. We got football. Everybody enjoy. Be safe. God bless. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, don't drink and bet.
Or do.
Or do.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Your money.
Yeah. Be safe. God bless. Bye-bye, everybody.